So I just read this little article in a very popular magazine for people who are 50 plus. And the title says, "Everyone's obsessed over getting 10,000 steps a day. Do I really need to hit that goal?" The first line in this little article says, "When it comes to moving your body, more is better." Is that true? We hear this message so often that we can kind of believe that it's true. Especially when it comes to getting steps. There's a lot of misinformation out there about how much is enough, and mostly because we've lost the connection to the whole reason we're getting steps in the first place. And it can become kind of stressful to try and reach a step goal every day, and that stress is kind of getting in the way. So this more is better messaging has really influenced our idea about how much is enough when we're getting steps. In this video, I'm going to clarify that, and we're going to get back to the real reason why we're getting steps to make sure that you're making the most of every step and everything that you're doing to move to be healthy and well. Hi, my name's Janet Holtz. I'm a clinical exercise physiologist, I'm a certified health coach, and I'm a mindfulness teacher. And so I have this whole person perspective about exercising. And for the past 4 decades, I've listened to people tell me about why they're struggling with exercising. And I realize that a lot of it is based on misinformation. And this more is better message is the number one reason I think why people struggle. And so I'm on a mission to take the stress and the pain and the struggles with motivation out of exercising by using an evidence-based approach and using mindfulness so that you know how to listen to your body and you know how to move it well so that you can be well now. You can feel and function your best every day. And so I remember way back when, a few decades ago, when pedometers started coming out, and it was pretty exciting for us in the exercise industry because we finally had a way for people to get some good information about how active they are throughout the day. This was exciting because the information was coming out about how detrimental it is to our health to be inactive. And this inactivity physiology was kind of balancing this exercise physiology information. That yes, we need to exercise, but we also are not served well by sitting for long periods of time. And so it became this kind of messaging that sitting is the new smoking and that it's really dangerous to sit. So this is using fear as a motivator. So when we use fear as a motivator, then it's not going to make us healthier because it's causing more stress rather than reducing stress. So we want to turn this messaging around. The problem is that the technology has increased so much, allowing everyone who wants to measure their steps. And we've become a little obsessed over getting our steps in. And we've really strayed from that original science that talked about the health risks of being sedentary. And so what that original science said is that when people sit for a longer period of time, what happens is inflammation starts to rise. But what they measured is people sitting at computers or sitting and watching TV, distracted. They don't have more inflammation. They don't have more stress and worse health markers. No, they have better health. So the problem is not sitting or being still for a long period of time. The real problem and the challenge for our health is being still and stressed. The technology has allowed us to measure this, but it's also distracted us from this really important fact that stillness is not a problem. It's being still and stressed. And so if adding more steps is adding more stress, it's not going to solve the problem. So when we get back to this root of the problem, we can see how to use steps to our benefit. And so how do you know how many steps are enough? Well, certainly there's research that 10,000 steps a day is beneficial. Even some people get 20,000 steps a day and they're healthier. Even people who go from doing 2,000 steps a day to 4,000 steps a day are healthier. So yes, up to a point, more is better. And if you just use that technology to remind you of when you're sitting for longer periods of time or you're still for longer periods of time, that's a nice way to use that technology to kind of wake you up and say, ooh, wait, I haven't moved, I better move. However, how you move and your mindset when you move makes a difference. And then how much you move in relation to how much you generally move. So what I mean by that is that get your baseline first. If you're starting to track steps or restarting that, spend a few days just getting a baseline. Where are you at on average without trying to increase it? Because our body can increase physical activity or exercise by about 5 to 10% per week. That's an average for people based on physiology. So if you just start doing 10,000 steps a day and you're only doing 2,000 normally, that's a huge increase. Your body's going to say, no, thank you. That's not helpful. Please don't do that. And you're not going to feel great. And so what we want to do is get that baseline, increase it by 5 to 10% per week. But the real benefit is by listening to your body to fine tune that rate. Your body will let you know through energy and through pain and through motivation if it's too much too soon. So if doing more steps is giving you more energy, if it's lowering pain, if it's making you feel more internally motivated, like you're feeling like you're doing something good for yourself and you're feeling good about that and you're motivated by wanting to take care of yourself, then those are signs that you're doing enough to be healthier. So it's all relative to your baseline. So get your baseline first. Use the general guide of 5 to 10% per week. So if you're getting 2,000 steps a day, 200 steps added the next week is what your body can handle. So follow that physiology and you'll likely feel better in your body. Okay. The second thing to know is that our body needs more than steps, and steps don't work for everybody. If you have pain when you walk, you're going to feel really discouraged that you can't get enough steps and feel like you can't be healthier, which is not true. Inflammation, and you can take small movement breaks throughout the day to reduce this still and stressed combination. So stretching is one of our best anti-inflammatories. When you stretch, your muscles contract. They help that lymphatic system move lymph throughout your system and help your body lower your inflammation as long as it's not adding to stress. So adding mindfulness to movement helps our body and our brain work together to make sure that that movement can lower inflammation. And so mindful stretching, mindful strength exercises also have the same benefit. And any kind of mindful cardiovascular exercise, even sitting in a chair and dancing to your favorite song. So if it's mindful and it's movement science based. So the other point that I want to make sure that you know is not all movement is created equal. Some movements our body is not meant to do, and it's more straining than strengthening. Follow the movement science principles that I show in the video linked below to make sure that you're moving well. So to get the most out of every step, make sure that you're starting at your baseline. Get your baseline increased by 5 to 10% per week, but listen to your body as your ultimate guide to how much is enough to make you feel better now. Make sure that you're doing a balance of strength, stamina, and mobility type movements because those are the skills that our body needs that getting more steps will not give you. So when you have strength, stamina, and mobility, you're going to feel and function better in everyday life. And so we need specific exercise, not just getting more steps, to make sure that we're getting the most from moving and exercising, not just generally moving more. And lastly, use mindfulness plus movement science or moving well principles to make sure that every time you move, you're lowering stress, not just taking care of the stillness piece, but also taking care of the stress piece, getting your body and your brain out of that stress state. And so if you want to learn more about how to get the most out of every movement that you do for your health and well-being, including steps, including mobility, strength, and stamina, then check out Exercising Well. Join our community become a member where you can do self-coaching or you can do coaching with me to guide you through eliminating the barriers of pain, stress, and low motivation so that you can enjoy exercising and whole person health.